I was living on Oahu at the time, and it was very unique because Terence was being treated for his brain tumor. And one of my friends, who actually had land property next to Terence, knew that he was having a little bit of challenges with the treatment, and that the treatment was definitely hard on him. And so he knew of my passion for frankincense, and he said, "Why don't you go see him?" And I said, "Well, I know who Terence is, however, I don't really know him." And he said, "Oh, it's fine." He said, "I'll contact him and I'll tell him that you're coming over and you can talk to him." So I did, and he was in Waikiki at the time. He was in a high-rise hotel, and I went up to, maybe it was about the 10th, 11th, 12th floor, and I knocked on the door, and his girlfriend let me in. And as I came in, he was just sitting down, and he got up and he came over and he introduced himself, and I said, "Hi, I'm Randyl. I'm the person that has the frankincense from Oman." And he said, "Yeah, Janan told me a little bit about you and it, and so what do you think?" And I said, "Well, to be honest with you, this has been used for millennia for people to really alter their consciousness. I mean, it really doesn't have what you would call a psychotropic type of component, but the thing is that it does put you in a place that helps you remember who you are." And he looked at me and said, "What do you mean remember?" And I said, "Because we're spiritual beings having an occasional physical experience, Terence, and that's what's happening. And I know that you've had many, many different types of altered states. You know that this physical flesh form just isn't the only thing that we're all about. And frankincense helps you remember what your spiritual destiny is." And he said, "Wow, what do I do?" And I said, "Here's some resin. What I'd like you to do is just put some in whatever you've been smoking and put it in there and smoke it and just see what the effects are."
Not yet, not yet.
And so he did, and it was remarkable. I mean, he really did get an effect from smoking the frankincense. And then afterwards I had frankincense oil, which is a steam distillation of the resin itself. And what I did is I put some on my hands and I put it over his nostrils, and I had him breathe deeply and rhythmically. And what that does, because of the components that are in it, the sesquiterpenes, which means 5 terpenes, goes directly through the blood-brain barrier, and it goes into your amygdala, and your amygdala is where everything is stored, so it naturally just gets you to the point to where you can be present and focused and centered. And he immediately felt that. And so the idea and the ideal behind frankincense is that, yes, it does alter your consciousness, and I'm convinced, as being an altar boy and experiencing it, that that's why they call you altar boy, because it alters your perspective. And that's basically it. So that's my Terence McKenna frankincense story.
Thank you. Mahalo.